Hello. Today we are gonna discuss about the Eagle Airlines case, and the purpose of today's video is to show you how to use TopRank to develop spider diagram and tornado diagram. Let me first open the Eagle Airlines. You are familiar with this data, and you can see the lower value, base value, and the higher value. Now we are gonna do the sensitivity analysis using the TopRank. I only opened the Excel file. The top rank is not here yet, so what I'm gonna do, let me first open the top rank, and you can see when the top rank is here. It's taking time. Here you go. So now we have the top rank. So using the top rank we can do the sensitivity analysis. Many of you probably know how to use top rank. Now today I'm actually gonna show how to use lower value and the higher value. For the top rank analysis, let me copy these cells and make another column. The reason why I'm doing this, so that we can play with that column and keep the original data safe. Let me rename this column as run. Now this is our output value, and we want to show the result here. So as we want to show the result here, this should be our output, and our inputs are these. Now we can do by the precision. Top rank has an option that it can auto select the variable, but if I go for auto selection, then the top rank it will consider the option default option, and in the default option it will vary the variable in a plus minus 10%. That's why we will select manually. We have the option to select it and then add as output, and then click OK, and then it will be, you see that formula generated risk output, and then we want to define these as a input. Click add input here, and you can see that it's showing that minus 10% to plus 10%, and there are some buttons, but these buttons are inactive. You can click on the button, but it will not work, because before that we have to add the input. After adding input, now you can see that these buttons are active, so now we have the option to use this button. And we can also change the 10% plus minus 10%. Let's see how this button work, and you can see that a type comes up, pop up, percentage change from base. Actually we are interested here actual mean and max, because we already have lower value and higher value. We are not interested for percentage change, but in future if we need, we can use the other option from the drop down menu. Let me select the actual mean and max, and then the distribution is uniform. We will go for uniform distribution. In any case, if you need other distribution, you can also go for that. And the steps by default, I'm okay with the by default value. Let's click OK. Before that, see, it was plus minus change from base, and you can see the original formula is 800 minus 10 comma 10. But when we change this to actual mean and max and click OK, it's actually changed. There is a 2 came. This 2 refers to the types 2 of the drop down menu, and this 800 refers to the base value, which is this one, and 720 is the minimum, see, and 880 is the maximum. But these are not our value. Our mean value is 500, so we can click here and we can type 500, and you can see the formula is also changing. And then the max value is 1000. Now we have the option to click here and type 1000, or we can click here and type, it's already there. Say it was as before 800, and then we have the option to click here and type in the formula 1000. So we can change from the formula bar, from the cell formula bar, or from the cell. Now everything looks good. 800 is the base value, 500 minimum, and high value is 1000. So we click OK. Here we go. Now we have to do these things for all of the variable, which is tedious. So we should go for automated formatting. But if I drag down this cell, let me see, if this is a formula, risk vary and the base value, mean value, and these are the other value. But if I drag down these right now, it will just copy and it will mess up my all the variables. So this will not work. Let me undo it. We can undo using the Ctrl Z. Okay, so that doesn't work. What? Because we need to do, let me put the 800. This 800 is actually this. So instead of putting 800, what we can do, we can put the cell number, which is C2. So we can select and then click here. You see, it changes with C2. Those who are pro with the Excel, they can do it very easily, but I'm just showing elaborately so that those who are not familiar with Excel to play with the Excel. So I'm showing elaborately. And for the 500, it is the minimum. Backspace, and then I click here, it will be 2, and then 1000 we can press backspace and then D2, and 2 is for the type 2 or from the drop down menu, and then I click OK, sorry, enter, and now it has formula. Now I can drag it down and you can see all the value are same of this run column and the base column. That means I copy it correctly, but the formatting is not the same, which is okay from a calculation point of view. But for illustration purpose, let me copy this format. I can copy this format using this click, and then I select here. Here you go. So now it looks exactly the same. Now these are our risk variable, and this is my risk output. Now I can go with the sensitivity analysis, clicking on the what if analysis. But before that, I need to check what are the report the analysis is going to give me. It's selected tornado and spider. Actually I am also interested in sensitivity, so I'm clicking sensitivity and click OK, and then I will click run what if analysis. It will run the simulation, and I have to click on the run. What is this? Let me see. Okay, then we can do the simulation, what if analysis, and then it says ask me for run. Okay, and then it's running. It should show the result momentarily. Yep, here is a result, the tornado graph and the spider and the sensitivity report, and this is the summary. So from the tornado we can see, okay, which is the most influencing factor, the top one, and then the second one and the third one. So the most influencing factor over the profit, the occupancy rate. And from the spider diagram we can also see, okay, which one. You can see that the occupancy rate and the charter price per hour, it has the highest slope. On the other hand, the green one, operating cost per hour, these have negative slope. Those who have negative slope, that means the more we increase the value, it will have a negative impact on the expected profit. And from the sensitivity we can see, the value of hours flown is minus 300 to 200. Actually it's assuming the base value as 0, so minus 300 our base value of hours flown. If we check, okay, Let me check what was our base value for hours flown. Our base value were 800, so 800 minus 300 is 500. So 500, 800, 1000, and that's why 500 correspond to, that means 300 less than the 500, and this is the top value, and this is the top value. So 800 plus 200 is 1000. So this point correspond to 1000 hours flown, and this point correspond to 500 hours flown. And we can see the more the hours flown increase, the profit also increases. And actually there is a break-even point when the value of our flows cross almost in between 500 to 600, the profit actually goes from negative to positive. So that's it, and now we know how to draw the tornado diagram and the spider diagram, and I hope you will enjoy. Okay, now it's time to play with the top rank software. Thank you very much for watching.